position. Okay, so if you're sitting down in a chair, just make sure that your legs are uncrossed and your feet are flat on the floor. And what I would maybe suggest is, unless you're kind of on a cold tiled floor, that you remove your shoes and socks, if that's okay, if you want, or even just have your socks on, that's fine too. And just settle into a sitting position. And if you wish, you can close your eyes, or you can just rest your gaze on the floor. Just taking a few moments to really, reconnect with the body. So bringing the mind and body into sync with each other. So just an awareness of the sensory experience of sitting here, whether you're kneeling or you're sitting or whatever position you're in, just noticing the contact of the body with whatever you are sitting on and the contact with the floor. So the support provided by the chair, the cushion, the floor. And aware of your upper body and adopting a dignified upright posture, but not rigid. So your back is straight, but not, held in extension as such. The shoulders released and the hands just resting on the thighs. And bringing, that awareness, that feeling into the hands, just noticing that contact and the warmth maybe of your hands and your thighs, or coolness, the weight of your hands on your thighs. So it's almost like stepping back from knowing what these things are and just feeling these appendages that are just resting on your legs. These two hands full of sensations, warmth or cold, tingling. Then moving that kind of childlike awareness or that newness of experience up from the hands into the forearms and elbows, the upper arms. So revisiting this body, looking at it with and feeling it with new eyes. Aware of the trunk and the chest, the belly, and inviting the belly to soften so it can be receptive to the breath. So it can inflate on the in-breath and let go on the out-breath. Aware of the shoulders and inviting them to just be a little bit looser, letting go of tension. The head in space, just resting over the trunk. Just spending a moment or two with this thing that we call the face, which is just really an area of the body that's full of different sensations and feelings. So maybe you're noticing tension, tight muscles, or maybe nice relaxed muscles. And I'd even invite you to maybe to make certain movements with your mouth. So it's almost like you're making sounds like of the vowels, like ah, e, oh. So your mouth is going to different positions just to release any tension in the jaw. So moving the face in any way you wish, just to kind of let go of any held tension. Maybe even shrugging the shoulders a couple of times, or circling them, lifting them up, holding them, and then letting them go. Lifting them up, holding them, and letting them go. So a full awareness now of the body, sitting here from head to foot. Sensitive also to the very subtle sensations of the breath moving in and out of the body. So just noticing wherever you feel it in your own body. Could be the belly or the chest as they rise and fall. Could be at your nostrils or mouth, or wherever. Just even very subtle awareness of the breath moving in and out. And not trying to manage it in any way, just noticing what's already happening, this breathing, this air becoming breath. So this morning we're going to do a meditation, actually a combination of two different practices, but they both center around self-compassion, or being just a little bit kinder to ourselves. And the first one, and both, one will kind of move into the other, but the first one works with, I suppose, more challenging, maybe emotions that we might experience, or even sensations or pain within the body. So difficult emotions or physical discomfort within the body, and how to work with these in a more compassionate way. And then we'll move into loving kindness meditation. So we might just begin by taking 3 very intentional deeper breaths. So breathing in through your nose, really taking the breath right down to the base of the lungs, and then letting go. Feeling the body expand in the in-breath, maybe even holding it and letting go, releasing. And then just allowing the natural breath to resume. So standing back and just feeling what's already happening within the body. The body already knows how to breathe. So maybe just bringing to mind some difficulty that is in your life at the moment. It doesn't need to be anything major. In fact, it might be even better if this is completely new to you to find something that's just a little bit more minor, maybe a minor kind of irritation, maybe a little, run-in that you've had with somebody, or maybe you've been upset by something, some maybe just struggle that you've been working with in your mind and in your heart, but nothing too major. Because as you practice this, you can, I suppose, then in time turn towards those more difficult things. But just at the moment, just finding something, might be something about yourself, something you've done, a mistake you've made, whatever it is, or an interaction with somebody that's just a bit difficult at the moment. So bringing the details of the situation to mind for a little while. And maybe seeing if it's possible to maybe just to label the situation in terms of what emotion does it evoke. And it may not be easy to find that, and that's okay if it's not. Don't go searching for something that's just quite difficult to find, but it might be sadness, could be anger, grief, worry, anxiety, whatever emotion resonates with this situation. And knowing that it's absolutely fine if you don't want to do this practice, or you'd rather just concentrate on your breath, that's absolutely fine. Just do what feels right for you. But if you do wish to explore this, just noticing whatever emotion might be evoked in the body and mind. And locating where in the body you find this emotion. So we're going to work from a different perspective, because often when we have difficulty, we try and problem solve it. We try and work from the mind, work it out, fix it. But we're going to adopt a different tactic this morning, just exploring in the body where this emotion might be held. Where do you maybe feel it in the body? Could be a tightness in the stomach, or tension somewhere else in the body. Could be heartache, all sorts of things. Just noticing whatever you notice. And very important also to stay connected to the body and the breath while you're doing this, just to anchor you. And always, never feeling that you have to stay with difficulty, coming back to the body, to the feet on the floor, or the breath, if it gets a little bit difficult for you. Being soothed by the body, breath. But if you have located somewhere in the body where you notice the pain or difficulty manifesting, just deliberately inviting that area of the body to soften. So even inwardly to yourself, you could say, soft, soft, soft. because there can be a kind of a protective bracing or anticipation of hurt, and going to brace up and tense up around an area of difficulty. So just softening the area or inviting it to soften. And then the second step after softening the area is to soothe this difficulty in the body. So maybe even placing a hand on the area of difficulty. So in a gesture of kindness, as you would to somebody that you cared, or if it was a child or an animal that you love, or you just gently soothe with your hand. And you may even wish inwardly to use a few words like, it's hard right now, but things will be okay. It's a difficult emotion to have, but everything will turn out okay. And then finally, just allowing things to be as they are. Just allowing, just in this moment, this is how things are right now. Doesn't mean it'll stay like this, but at this moment, this is how things are. So not fighting with what's actually present, what's actually here, but actually just gently turning towards what is here, what is in this moment, reality. Gently turning towards the difficulty, allowing it to be as it is right now. You may or may not notice any change in terms of the physical sensations. Maybe even other sensations or other emotions being evoked, manifested elsewhere in the body. So just noticing now what is more present right now, maybe the same area, maybe a different area sensation, and applying those 3 different steps. So firstly, locating and softening the area. Well, as best you can, just softening, letting go of any kind of bracing against what's here. And then soothing the area by placing a hand or saying something kind to this experience in the body, to yourself. And finally, just allowing what is here to be here. Softening, soothing, and allowing. Maybe just bringing both hands to rest on the area of your heart. Just gently, one hand and then the other hand on top, and even just gently caressing one hand upon the other in a gesture of kindness and warmth. And then just resting your hands once again on your thighs. Re-establishing contact with the floor, with whatever you're sitting on, with the fullness of the body. Aware of its weight and the space it takes up, height, width. This breathing body. Allowing the awareness to really drop deeply and connect with the breath. So meeting the breath, moving in, moving out. Just spending a little while with the breath, following the breath. Following the inhalation, the exhalation, the inhalation, exhalation. Again, if the mind is elsewhere, being gentle and returning to the breath and the sensations of breathing, or the sensations of the body, stable, firm, grounded. The only reality right now is this body sitting here, breathing. Thoughts and emotions, sensations will come and go. But all the while, the body is here, breathing. So underpinning all of these practices and mindfulness itself is, like, more important even than awareness, is deep self-compassion. So just needs to be the bedrock, that we're kinder to ourselves, just a bit kinder. Could be a bit too much to say I want to love myself. That could be a tall order, but just even to be a bit more gentle, less critical. So there's less striving to be this perfect person. So we're not berating ourselves. And instead, and it's not easy, to turn towards ourselves and our experience in a bit more of a gentle manner. So it takes a bit of practice. So the next part of this session, we'll work with something called loving kindness or boundless friendliness. And it's really just planting the seeds of kindness so we can just be a bit more compassionate with ourselves, and therefore we'll be able to see things maybe a little bit more clearly, a bit more calmly, and interact with the world in a calmer way, less reactive way, more loving way. So with that awareness of the body here, we'll introduce 4 little statements. And we'll, first of all, bring ourselves to mind, like just bring your own personality to mind, and maybe an image of yourself or a sense of yourself as you're here. And inwardly repeating the following phrase: I allow myself to make mistakes. Just dropping that seed into the ground. I allow myself to make mistakes. I allow myself to be imperfect. I allow myself to be a learner in life. And I forgive myself in this moment. I allow myself to make mistakes. I allow myself to be imperfect. I allow myself to be a learner of life. And I forgive myself in this moment. Just planting those seeds. They take a lot of nurturing, a lot of tending to. It won't happen miraculously overnight, but if it's something that we nourish gently, gradually, we'll see the fruits of our labor. So next, bringing to mind somebody that you really care about. And it may not even be a person, it might be an animal. It doesn't really matter, but just somebody or creature that you really have a fondness for, care for, maybe even love. Just bringing their image to mind. And as we know, just like ourselves, they too are not perfect. So repeating these phrases, I allow you to make mistakes. I allow you to be imperfect. I allow you to be a learner in life. And I forgive you in this moment, or as best I can. I allow you to make mistakes. I allow you to be imperfect. I allow you to be a learner in life. And as best I can, I forgive you in this moment. This can be challenging. So knowing that at any stage you wish, you can just reconnect again with the body, feeling the feet firmly on the ground, the body just sitting here breathing. You can stay here as long as you wish. And if you do wish, we can move on to maybe to bring an image of somebody to mind that is maybe a little bit difficult in your life, or a little bit just has maybe just a bit of friction or something with somebody. Again, maybe nothing too dramatic, because this is something that we're just exploring gently with. So maybe somebody who's just challenging you or pressing your buttons a little bit at the moment, or has upset you in some way, but not a catastrophic way. And as best you can, seeing how it is to repeat these same phrases. I allow you to make mistakes. I allow you to be imperfect. I allow you to be a learner in life. And as best I can, I forgive you, at least in this moment. I allow you to make mistakes. I allow you to be imperfect. I allow you to be a learner in life. And I forgive you as best I can in this moment. Just noticing the after effects of bringing somebody more challenging to mind. So the after effects within the body. And as many times as is required, reconnecting, re-establishing contact with the ground under the feet, the chair, cushion you're sitting on, the body, supported, softening the body. And in the last moments of this meditation, bringing again the hands to your heart space, one hand upon the other. And we'll gently turn towards our own experience again. I allow myself to make mistakes. I allow myself to be imperfect. I allow myself to be a learner in life. And I forgive myself as best I can. Nourishing any feelings of warmth, however remote, and kindness towards yourself, almost like you're holding your heart, however it is right now, whether it's full of joy or whether it's a little bit hurting. Gently holding this heart, this beautiful heart. Sitting here, breathing into this loving heart.